हेलो हाय स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हैं आप? होप आप सब लोग सेफ हैं अपने घरों में. सो स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ पॉलिनोमियल. आज हम यहाँ पर पॉलिनोमियल्स समझेंगे कि पॉलिनोमियल है क्या, व्हाट इज पॉलिनोमियल. So before to start polynomial, I am going to discuss you something that is very important. It's what terms and expressions. Okay, टर्म्स एंड एक्सप्रेशंस. लाइक अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल लिखता हूँ, सपोज 7x, और मैंने एक एग्जांपल और लिखा दैट इज 3xy² प्लस 2x, and again I put an example like 4xy plus 3xz y. So here I'm using some numbers and as well as some English alphabets basically. Like इधर मैंने लिखा हुआ 7x and 3xy² plus 2x, and the third example में लिखा हुआ है कि 4xy plus 3xyz, and मैं इसको एक प्लस करके लाइक एक टर्म और ऐड कर देता हूँ. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड, मैंने यहाँ पे 3yz को ऐड कर दिया. सो बेसिकली दिस, इसको अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो ये जो है ये टर्म है. दीज ऑल आर टर्म्स. ठीक है, अ टर्म containing both, that is your variable and constant. Okay, variables like x y z जो भी alphabets हैं उसे हम लोग variables बोल रहे हैं because its value can vary from any number. And 3, 2, 4, 3, these all are, it is not compulsory that to put only the plus signs, we can put a minus sign also. So as well as we can like root 2 xy plus 6 root over of 2y minus z, we can write in this way also. So these all constants are, we can here write these all constant, जितने भी कांस्टेंट है ना, these all constant belongs to real number. It's very important to understand. These all constant are belong to real number. Real numbers we can understand कि real numbers क्या है. So अगर मैं यहाँ पे पहले वाले एक्सप्रेशन की बात करूँ तो it's having only one term. इसमें सिर्फ एक टर्म है. It's containing only one term. And इसमें देखिए तो इसमें हमारे पास two term है. Two term. This two term is segregated by this plus sign. You can use minus sign also. Like here, if I write minus 4xy plus 3x plus 3yz, so these all terms are segregated by this plus and sign by itself. So we can write it's having a three term. So an expression which is having only one term, so we can say that it's what, it's having only one term, so it's called what, monomials. It's called monomial. And if it is having two terms, so it's called binomial. It's called binomial. And if it is having three terms, so it's called trinomial. So it's called trinomial. And not compulsory that having only three terms, it's higher than three terms also. So it's higher order of polynomial. So here the term that is called poly means many, and nomial, it's called what, part, or we can say that term. So polynomial itself, it is defined, polynomial itself it is defined many parts. So many parts, or we can say that many terms, or it's again it's an easy way to write it. It's many terms. Not all times we can say that many terms. If it is having only one term, so we can say that what it is called monomial, and having two terms, so called binomial and trinomial. So many terms so we can represent it's a polynomial. Okay, so now here I'm just going to write in standard form to represent a polynomial. Okay, so f of x is equal to a naught x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus a2 x to the power n minus 2 dash 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 it up to an. We can remember one thing that is very important कि जो polynomials हैं तो polynomials में जो x, y या कोई भी आप variables ले रहे हैं तो variables का जो power है that power should not be negative. Powers कभी भी negative नहीं होना चाहिए. Powers always should be positive. Okay, so here that's why I write a standard form to represent any polynomial like f of x. We can know that what is f of x? It's a function. F of x is a function which is written in this form. It's a polynomial. Log a naught x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1, a2 x to the power n minus 2 and dash dash a n. Now, if I'm just going to write a first polynomial that is called constant polynomial. Constant polynomial. What is constant polynomial? So it's constant polynomial. Like here I just write f of x equal to a naught and here I just put n 0. For the constant polynomial I put n equal to 0. If I put n equal to 0, a naught x to the power 0 is 1, so I left only a naught. Okay, here it is x to the power minus 1. We will not able to take that minus part of this. So here only a constant is left in this particular scenario. So we can write some examples of a constant function that is what, like 5, any number like f of x equal to 9, that it may be any number. So now f of x equal to minus root over of 6, it may be possible. So these all are the examples of constant polynomial is having only one term. It's having only one term. So we can also say that it is a monomial. Okay, we can also say that it is a monomial. Now if the next part, if we talk about the next part or next type, that is called a linear polynomial. It is a linear polynomial. What is a linear polynomial? So before to understand the concept of a linear polynomial, we have to take some examples of this also. What is a linear polynomial? Like if I'm going to write again in the form of this, like f of x equal to, in the case we just put n equal to 1 for the linear polynomial. Now if this equation, if we put n equal to 1, so we will get x to the power 0, x to the power a0 x to the power 1 plus a1 x to the power 0. So we can write in this way a0x plus a1. It's having two terms. So if any polynomial is having two terms, so we can say that it is a linear polynomial with the power degree of the polynomial. We will discuss later what is degree of polynomial. So here the only two terms is this, so we can say that it's also a binomial and it is a linear polynomial. So the n is 1, n is 1. So now it is a naught x plus a1. Take some example. So I write f of x equal to, here this place in the linear polynomial we have to always understood that a naught does not be equal to 0. The same case in the constant polynomial, we can say that a naught does not equal to 0, because if you put a naught is equal to 0, so nothing will remain in the equation. So we cannot say that it's a constant polynomial. If we talk about the linear polynomial, we can just put n equal to 1. It means that like is having the two terms. Two terms, like is an example, that is a naught will not be equal to 0. So you can put like 6x plus 4. 6x plus 4, because a1 again it's a constant. So in this, the standard polynomial, we can always say that this a naught, a1, a2, dash 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 n, this all belongs to real number. This all belongs to real number. Okay, and as well as this is called x is a real variable. X is what? It's a real variable. It's a real variable. So these two things are very important to understand. A naught, a1, a2 up to an, these all are the it belongs to real number, and x is a real variable. So now the linear polynomial n is equal to 1. Now again I'll take an example of this. If the next one is called what is your cubic sorry, it's your quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. Just to write down in the place of n, we put 2. So if we put the value of n is 2, we will get a function, or we can say that the polynomial function is what? A naught x square plus a1x plus a2. This having 3 terms. So 3 terms is trinomial, or we can say that it's a quadratic polynomial. So यहाँ पर एक चीज़ ध्यान देने के लिए है सभी लोगों के लिए कि लाइक अगर आप यहाँ पर एक कॉन्सेप्ट देखो, सो यहाँ पे n का वैल्यू चेंज हो रहा है. पहले n का वैल्यू 0 है, फिर n का वैल्यू 1 है, फिर n का वैल्यू 2 है. ऐसे हम नेक्स्ट अभी स्लाइड में जाएंगे तो हम यहाँ पर देखेंगे कि n का वैल्यू 3 भी होने वाला है. अगेन मैं अगर यहाँ पर आपको डिस्कस करूँ तो इस केस में भी आप a नॉट को कभी भी 0 के इक्वल नहीं बता सकते हैं. ठीक है. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड अ क्वाड्रेटिक पॉलिनोमियल. सो ये n इक्वल टू 0, n इक्वल टू 1, n इक्वल टू 2, ये जो पार में आप देख रहे हो, इन चीजों को ही हम कहते हैं डिग्री ऑफ पॉलिनोमियल. दैट इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? अ डिग्री ऑफ, इट्स कॉल्ड व्हाट? डिग्री ऑफ पॉलिनोमियल. Degree of polynomial. Like if the degree of polynomial, we can say that if it is n equal to 0, so we can say that it's a constant polynomial. It's a constant polynomial. It's a constant polynomial. If n equal to 1, or degree of polynomial is 1, so you can say that it's a linear polynomial. It's a linear polynomial. It's a linear polynomial. If n equal to 2, so you can say that it's a quadratic polynomial. It's a quadratic polynomial. It's a quadratic polynomial. If n equal to 3, so you can say that it's a cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial. And if n is equal to 4, so it's called what? Biquadratic. It's called what? Biquadratic polynomial. It's called what? Biquadratic polynomial. So now we can also raise some another the values of n, and we will get the different type of polynomial. That is higher order polynomials. So basically we will to concentrate on these type of polynomials. So if I'm just going to write some examples of constant polynomials, so it is 6. We can write 6. We can write root over of 6 and anything else which does not have any x, or which does not have any variable term. Now if we talk about the linear polynomials, so we can write 4x plus 2, and again example, that is 6y plus 7. Okay, it's an example of linear polynomial. As we all know that the linear polynomial will always represent the equation of a line. It's a equation of line means what? It's represent the straight line. It always represent the straight line in the form of a straight line. The quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial means what? 4x square plus 6x plus 9. It is an example of quadratic polynomial. And this polynomial equations means what? If it we are just going to equate this polynomial expression with 0, then we will get a quadratic equation. And this quadratic polynomial will always gives you a curve. shape like a parabola. Okay, so this is called what? A quadratic polynomial. Write an example of cubic polynomial. So 3a square, sorry, a cube plus 4a square minus 6a plus 7. Again, it's an example of cubic polynomial. And similarly, you can write the example of biquadratic. In the all the cases, the first term, that is the, if I'm writing the same term, that is a naught x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus a2 x to the power n minus 2 dash dash a to the a n up to n terms. So here you cannot put that a naught will be equal to 0 in any case. If you talk about the constant polynomial or linear polynomial or quadratic or a cubic polynomial. So basically I think you will understand the concept of polynomial. Remember two things. The first one is that this a naught, a1, a2, these all belongs to a1, a naught, a2. These all belongs to the real numbers. These all belongs to real numbers. And this power of x will not be negative. Will not be negative. इसको आप negative नहीं कर सकते हैं. And ये a naught, a1, a2, a3, these all are belongs to the real number. Then it will make a polynomial. It make a polynomial. Poly means many and nomial means terms. So many terms will be acquired to make a definition of polynomial. So hope this video will clear the concept of polynomial. In the next video, we will understood what is the solutions and characteristic of polynomials. So thank you for watching the video. For more details, you can subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.